Hello everyone, back into today's second video in JMA Friday for today's second video. So as always on a Friday we're having a look at the weather for the next 4 weeks, for the next month, and that's going to take us into the beginning of June, of course. So we're going to look at the JMA first of all, then we'll have a look at the CFS V2. We'll compare the two and see how they're looking for the next 4 weeks. So I'll get on that for you very shortly. Just to say that coming up later on today we're going to have a week to 10 day video update including all our regular features. The European Outlook is back, so for the first time since January 2016 I've done a weather forecast a week ahead for Europe, and also last night I did a weather forecast week ahead for the United States of America. Both of those videos are going to be kept on YouTube exclusive for the time being. I'm not going to embed them into GazWeather.com until we see whether we start generating a little bit of interest with them, and then I might start putting them into GazWeather.com as well. But if you want to see the European weekend forecast or the United States of America weekend forecast, then head over to the GazWeather's YouTube channel, subscribe to the channel, you'll be notified when we release our weekend forecast for America and for Europe on a Thursday evening and a Friday morning. Of course, this is this as well as the UK weekend forecast that we will continue to do every Saturday. That's one of the longest standing videos, and there's no way that we'll be stopping that one. So that one carries on a Saturday for the UK. Right, so lots of new things coming up, lots of going on at Gaza. There's lots of new content. Hope you're enjoying it. Don't forget to just thumbs up on the videos as well if you are enjoying the content. Right, let's get on with JMA Friday then. So we're going to start with the 500 millibar height anomaly flowcharts from the Arctic and North Pole view down. So we've got the North Pole just there, the wider Arctic circle is around here, and then of course we've got the mid-latitudes through there. Excuse me, on these charts, blue is extrapolating to below average heights, which is low pressure. Yellow, orange, and red extrapolate to above average heights, which is high pressure. These break down to week periods. The first week period will take us from the 8th through to the 15th of May. The coming week will see above average heights centred out to the west and the northwest of the country, below average heights to the east and to the northeast, a deep trough of low pressure in Scandinavia. Notice also a very deep trough of low pressure over northern eastern parts of America, and very cold areas digging in through there, record-breaking cold. We discussed that in last night's weekend forecast for America. But also we've got it cold on both sides of the Atlantic actually, so it just goes to show sometimes you can get it cold on both sides of the Atlantic. Below average heights to East America, below average heights across northern Europe, a ridge just here, a blocking ridge, and the jet stream is doing something a little bit like that, placing both the western side of the Atlantic and the eastern side of the Atlantic on the cold side of the jet stream. So in the coming week we're going to be pulling in cold winds from the north and from the northeast, quite obviously for the UK. Then we go through to week 2, takes us from the 15th through to 22nd of May, and below average heights again in the Atlantic. Let's get rid of that start at the end. So we've got below average heights in the Atlantic just here, and we continue to bring in unsettled conditions. The only difference is that the wind is shifting around more to the west-southwest, so temperatures will be warming up a little bit. We've got some above average heights building through the middle part of the Atlantic. Still quite a bit of northern blocking though up over the Arctic, but I think that's unsettled, and temperatures should be starting to stage a recovery as winds swinging to west of the southwest. And then weeks 3 and 4 takes us from the 22nd of May to the 5th of June, and we look like this. So still below average heights in the Atlantic, above average heights across western parts of Europe, winds in from a west or a southwesterly direction. Maybe turning a little bit southwesterly to southerly actually, so I think overall that's probably starting to settle down a little bit, especially the more southern areas, and I would have thought that's beginning to warm up a bit too. Let's confirm this with the tropical and mid-latitude views. So the British Isles in the top right-hand corner of the chart as you are looking at it, along with Ireland, we're up here. We can't see the Arctic, North Pole, Scandinavia, Greenland, Iceland, all of that sort of area is off the chart up here. But we've had a look at that view down, so we know what's going on really for the next 4 weeks. terms of the northern latitude view. So for week 1, which of course is the 8th through to 15th of May, above average heights are out to the northwest. Deep trough of low pressure in across northern eastern parts of America. We can't really see it except over here a little bit. There's also a deep trough in over Scandinavia, which of course is going to be up there. And it means that we're pulling in a cold northerly wind in the week ahead into the UK and much of northern Europe. So temperature anomalies with the JMA are forecast to be below average in the week ahead from the 8th to the 15th of May. Quite significantly so, actually, on the scale. We're kind of a couple of degrees below average at least. Precipitation on is not too bad, actually drier than average. That's because the Atlantic blocked, of course. So cold and dry, I suppose, in the week ahead. Watch out for night frost if you're a gardener, grower or farmer. Week 2 takes us from the 15th through to 22nd of May. Looks unsettled, looks more unsettled this time, below average heights in the Atlantic, but probably becoming milder or warmer as winds should be pushing up from the southwest. Temperature anomalies are indeed warming up, so after that cold week 1, week 2 is looking quite a lot better, recovering in temperature, back to average, possibly even a little bit above average in that week, but it's more unsettled, as I said, low pressure coming off the Atlantic, so it's a wetter week as we move up from the 15th to the 22nd of May. Yes, we are wetter than average, so warmer and wetter than the 3rd week of the month. And then we go through to weeks 3 and 4, which is going to take us from the 22nd of May to the 5th of June. And still also a little bit changeable, especially out to the northwest, low pressure through there. We have got some higher pressure building from the south. Winds are again sort of southwesterly, and pressure is beginning to rise from the south. Temperature anomalies looking rather above average overall, above average temperature anomalies coming up. Well, average to above average, I suppose, in this period from 22nd of May to 5th of June. Still a little bit on the unsettled side, not as unsettled as it is in week 2, nevertheless slightly above average rainfall overall. Remember, it's a 2-weekly anomaly, so there could be a bit of transitioning going on there. Maybe week 3 is still unsettled as a carryover from week 2. And then by the time you get through to week 4, which of course is taking us into June, then maybe we see the high pressure building up from the south. Something like that could be going on. Let's have a look at CFS V2 and see how it compares. So again, these are 500 millibar heights broken down into week periods. The first weekly period takes us from the 8th to the 14th of May. Coming week has that deep trough of low pressure in over northern Europe and also eastern parts of America, and then the blocking area of high pressure out to the northwest of the British Isles and extending back up towards Greenland. Jet stream does something a bit like that, so we managed to pull off cold conditions on both sides of the Atlantic. If this was the middle of winter rather than the middle of May, then we would be talking about very significantly cold and wintry and snowy conditions on both sides of the Atlantic Ocean. So we go through to week 2, and very similar again to what the JMA is showing here. This is the 15th, 21st of May. Low pressure sort of develops out in the Atlantic now. Still got the leftover legacy of the blocking. It's in the Norwegian Sea, but overall looks like we're probably seeing a recovery in temperature, but turning more unsettled as that low pressure starts to bring wet weather in from off the Atlantic Ocean. Week 3 is a little bit different to what the JMA was showing. This is the 22nd, 28th of May. Above average heights then building through central and northern parts of Europe, below average heights out to our west. That could turn the winds into the south. So that could turn very warm, maybe even a little bit plumy-esque. Might be able to pull up a little bit of a plume out of Spain with that. As we've got high pressure over sort of Germany, and low pressure to west of Ireland. That's the kind of pattern that could deliver something quite hot from the south, but if it did, might turn thundering. And then go through to week 4, which is the 29th of May to the 4th of June. And again, we've got the above average heights, this time sitting over to the east of the country. Below average heights pushed back into the middle of the Atlantic. Jet stream would be doing something a bit like that. So that could be indicating quite a warm, we'll have a look at temperature anomaly in a moment, that could be indicating quite a warm start to June, possibly even a little bit of a heat wave maybe as we go into the beginning of official meteorological summer 2020. Temperature anomalies with the CFS V2 from the 8th to the 14th of May. Colder than average in week 8. Look how cold it is across North America. Extremely cold, record-breaking cold, covering most parts of the states away from that Pacific western side. And really cold across many parts of Europe as well, particularly Northern Europe. So again, we have got cold into both sides of the Atlantic this week. Week 2 is also below average. I thought we might be seeing a little bit of a recovery in the temperature here as weather starts to move more in from the Atlantic, but no, the CFS actually has another cold and average temperature anomaly for this week, 15th to the 21st of May. Week 3 is the 22nd, 28th of May, and now we do start to see warmer temperature anomalies. It's 22nd, 28th of May, temperature anomalies start to go above average, and that continues into week 4 and strengthens. This was 29th of May to the 4th of June. Could we be hinting at a bit of a heat wave here as we start June? Possibly, but it's a very long way off. It's week 4, so it's a really long way away, but maybe we'll have a hot start to the summer of 2020. Precipitation anomalies, finally, with CFS V2, week 1, 8th to the 14th of May. Dry and average, so both JMA and CFS in agreement about the coming week, cold and, or cold and average, and dry. Week 2 is the 15th to 21st of May. That one also looking rather dry and average. I thought that might be a bit more unsettled, to be honest. Week 3 is a bit wetter. This is 22nd, 28th of May. A little bit wetter then. Maybe hinting a little bit of thunder perhaps down in the south. And by week 4, there's no particular signal. But it's 29th of May to 4th of June. No particular signal. We've lost a signal by this point. But the CFS is actually indicating like a ridge of high pressure to be sitting very close to the country. So I see no reason why that shouldn't be a dry and average week. So the CFS could well be indicating a rather hot and dry start to June. Maybe. It's a long way off. And before then, we have got these cold temperatures to get through over the next week or so. So, yes, we are going to have a wintry feel to the weather, especially across the northern parts of Europe. We will notice that cold wind. Gradually, by middle of the month, we get a slight recovery in the temperature. And then things could start to get warmer as we move into the second half of May. And by the time we get through to month's end and the beginning of June, possibly, just a few hints that we might have some hot weather. Right, we're going to be back later on with your week 10 daily update, including all of the regular features, so the videos just keep coming today. But for JMA Friday, that's all for now, and thanks for watching.